One, two, three, four.
It's been a long time, but welcome back to Me versus Myself podcast. I don't know, dude. I'm just gonna pretend like nothing's changed. No, I'm just kidding. No, a lot has fucking changed. I don't know. I feel good, but part of me also feels like a lot's changed, and maybe it's kind of been like in my own head. I'm trying to relate this to you guys because I feel like I've been going through like a really weird, transformative, like, I don't know, dude. Even that sounds kind of like bullshit because it's not like I don't know, it's not a huge transformative thing, but a lot has changed at the same time. So I guess it is a big change or a big transformative thing because I feel so far detached from who I once was, but also there's still parts of me that are the same. And I mean, it's kind of hard to relate these things or to really explain what's been going on in the past couple of months because I feel like I've been here and present, but somewhat at the same time I have not been present. And uh, I don't know, like it's part of me feels like I'm running away from telling you guys what's going on. But then also part of me feels like, well, I don't need to tell you guys because realistically, I mean, it's you do care, you know. You guys, there is people that care, and there is people that are watching this that do really just want to know what's going on with me or what I'm up to. But I don't know. Like I'm at a point in my life, kind of, where I feel like I like being more private about what I'm feeling, but also that is a coping mechanism to not confront what I feel. And I've been in this dilemma within this podcast and with this whole thing, and it's just I guess this platform that I've built for myself, you know. Um I'm kind of in a dilemma now because it's like, well, wait, here I am, right? And I want to tell people what's going on with my life. But then again, in my head, I was telling myself, I don't feel like I'm really at a point to be telling people what I'm doing with my life. But as I go back to the core of what this podcast was when I first created it and what it meant for me to have somewhere to just freely express myself and say what I felt without, any sort of outside interruption, it's kind of turned into a little bit in my head for it turned into like I'm not anybody, so who am I to tell people like how to live their life or who am I to give advice to people? But it's not about who am I to give advice to people. It's that people care and trust and confide in me to express something that they feel the need to express. And I, in this podcast, am the vehicle through which that person can get that off of their mind or get a different explanation. But for a bit of time, I was kind of looking at things. I mean, I was trying to monetize this thing, and it wasn't really ever. I mean, it kind of was about that. Not gonna lie, the idea of like, oh, I can just be a podcaster for a living. But as I've grown, right, and now almost in September, it's like 3 years that I started doing this. I have 3 years of information of me, 3 years of my thoughts, and up to recently, in the past maybe last year, I've slipped up on that. Partly too because of my self-image and my desire to not be seen. I want to say maybe since maybe like July ish. Yeah, maybe since July when I broke my collarbone, which by the way is healed up and doing really well. My physique's actually looking really really good right now. I'm really happy with how I'm looking. But I broke my collarbone in December. I mean December. July 16th, and through July 16th to like December, about like maybe even like 2 3 months ago, maybe up to like March, right? Maybe March, April, yeah, May. Maybe since like March, I've been pretty much like on this resurgence again where I'm at now. But just to paint the picture of the past maybe year or the past like 6 8 months, when I broke my collarbone, it kind of put me in a like from kind of being so public and about everything or being so like out there, it just kind of put me in my own little cave, away in my own little oasis, like. And I think for a while I kind of got lost in that isolation. I feel like I not only stopped caring about the podcast, but my internal dialogue, and maybe we can call it the enemy, was pulling me towards not confronting how I felt, therefore keeping it all inside and resulting in the pressure that I was feeling from not expressing how I was feeling, but also not wanting to express how I was feeling because how I was feeling was not desirable to my current situation. So it's even now I still feel like I'm in the loop a little bit because it's like, dude, I'm trying to get out of the loop, but then in reality there is no loop. But there is a loop. But then I don't know, like I think I know I want to be posting these things just because it gives me something to like. It gives me a space to just say whatever I feel, and I think I thought too deep into like, oh my god, I'm saying so many things. Like, will these things like eventually come to bite me in the butt, or like, will these things am I putting these ideas out and letting people know what I'm doing, somewhat like limiting myself? Because I'm placing this expectation that only exists in my head. But then it was like, okay, I was kind of doing this for validation because, well, I'm talking about myself in hopes that I can live from talking about myself. So that's fucking, that's somewhat of a thing to think about. Like, but okay, so I was confronting a bunch of demons and a bunch of things of like why I am the way that I am, and why maybe I can't why I tend to, I don't even know. Sorry, I know I'm throwing a whole bunch at you guys, and I know not it's like maybe this is just a fucking limiting belief in my head, and I should share it. But I feel like by sharing these thoughts, I'm kind of, I don't know, dude. Like, maybe I'm just not used to recording again, and this is just normal because, well, I used to do at one point I did this 3 times a week, and this is probably the first time I've done this in like a month. Before that, like 2 months maybe, and well, over the last year it's been less often. But I think I've been in this like in this isolated state for too long. And I think that's why I felt so judgmental toward myself, or I felt so powerless as well. Because although I'm no longer in that little cell, I keep myself in that cell because I keep telling myself I need to get out. I don't know, Bob. I don't know. I don't know. But I mean, like, it's not like my life is like terrible. My life is not terrible by any means. I'm actually very, very fucking blessed and happy. And life is super good. Like, no, I guess that's. that's also the problem. I feel like I want to say I'm drinking some coffee right now, but that's also the problem because my life is so fucking good. It's like, okay, well, I don't need to do certain things, but then I do need to. Then I judge myself for not doing those things. For example, like work, when it's like, okay, because I know I feel somewhat entitled to of some of. I feel entitled in the sense of like, I know I can run my business and create a better kind of lifestyle for myself, but then I tell myself I need to get a job so that I can invest in it into before I start the business. So I think what I've been doing, and I'm catching it right now as I'm saying it out loud, how many little loops that exist in my head that are just loops. And the more I recognize them as just loops and it's just what it is, and actually there is no loops. It's just things just are. Things just are. Like if you think about it like that, things just are. But I guess this podcast lets me say these things out loud. Lets me fucking talk my shit. I think I need to keep talking my shit because I feel maybe I'm just not confident in who. Like I have not been confident in who I am so much, in who I think I am. And in many ways, I am. Many ways, I do exude confidence. In many ways, I do find it like easy to just be confident. What's going on? Yeah. Also, too, these podcasts really are just it's at its core. It's for myself. And one thing I kind of began to do or began to like a certain way I began to walk was like, hey, like I said, like this was kind of a source of validation because I'd meet people and tell people I'd be podcasting, and people would be like, "Oh my god, that's so cool," and like stroke my ego, and then I'd be like, "Oh, like, yeah, like let's talk." And it's like an interview, kind of using it as like a means to like get to know people more. And I do want to get to know people more. But part of me was looking at it like it was kind of using it or not necessarily abusing it, but like using it for a exterior purpose, rather than like the sake of, oh, I record my thoughts and I speak to the camera because it helps me piece together how I feel. It helps me say what I think. And it helps me post something and put it out. And somehow it helps people deal with whatever it is they're dealing with. Because it's very easy to paint my life as like a super good life because I have access to a lot of things. So, I mean, my life is good, My life is good. And, well, the more I kind of look outwardly, I feel like it's not good. And I think that's kind of maybe why I started to not necessarily give up on this, because I feel like I have not given. I just would push it to the side because I've been saying I wanted to do one for a while and just record and think for a bit. But then it's like, well, part of me runs away from it because it's like, well, fuck that. I don't want to put out. Like, if I don't post these videos, nobody sees them. And if I don't share my ideas, it doesn't matter, Like, nobody, that doesn't matter. regardless, it doesn't matter at all if I do or don't. But let me explain. Like, fuck. All right. If I do post these videos, it helps me, like, mentally. I was really posting these shits 3 times a week. So, Jesus Alejandro Guillen, I can post these 3 times a fucking week. Here, I'm writing in my notebook. And I can go out and meet people too, but like I've just been like, oh, I don't have shit to say to people. I'm not anybody, so why am I saying things to people? Or my podcast isn't big, so I'm not even getting ads. Or I'm not making money off, bro, but it doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. And if I just create for the sake of creating, it helps me put me out there. It helps me kind of act, I feel like I want to say. You know? Because it kind of gives me a means of like being accountable or having to show up and let you guys know what's going on. And you guys is very vague, you know. It's not like it's a specific kind of. I mean, I have an idea. I don't have any idea. Loki, don't have any idea of who watches my podcast or not anymore, because I get okay, you know. I get the same amount of like the same. Let's go check actually. The views I get on my podcast are relatively consistent. Here, let's see. Me versus myself podcast. Sheesh, look at this guy 8 months ago. He got his futon for 8 months ago. What a beast, Jesus. Look at this guy 9 months ago. Embrace the future. Oh my goodness. Jesus Alejandro. Self-sufficiency. New paradigms. Hello 2022. I've posted 4 videos this year. Only. So here, maybe if I look here. Oh. Yeah, if I turn you on right here, you guys can see what I'm looking at. Look at who needs young Jamie. Look, I'm out here showing y'all what's going on. Oh, someone asked me to remove a video. I forgot to, but I will. Don't worry about it. I was posting or posting. This is already 33 episodes deep when I started posting on YouTube. So I was venting to myself for 33 videos before this. And then podcast audio. Freedom. I gotta go back and listen to these things, man. It makes me kind of emotional, not gonna lie. Because this is like not different versions of me, but I can look back because I can look back and sympathize for this version of myself. Like, hello. Welcome back. This video is 56 minutes. Sitting outside on the floor, talking about what I think. Sorry guys, I know this is just like I like this kind of style of just recording and going about it. This is hard as fuck though, dude. Look. What? Dude, I could just turn it like this. You can see what I'm doing. I know it looks like backwards to you guys probably, but I need to make these videos more. for myself. Because I feel like I've been going against myself for a while, and I have not been working with myself. I've been working against myself in a lot of ways, and I've been isolating myself from a lot of people. And maybe people have noticed, maybe people haven't noticed, I don't know. But I feel like I don't want to say sorry because it's like I had to do what I had to do. I guess I had to do what I had to do to get to this point. But I feel like so like kind of like not sad either. I just feel like up. How do I say this? I feel I feel a little bit bad that I've took myself away from the world like that, or that I've actively tried to like diminish what I'm doing. And I think that for a long time I've been running away from confronting how I feel and what I'm thinking. So therefore I keep these loops because my brain's like, well, they're not solved. But as I say them and I release these things out into the world and into the ether, they simply just, like this podcast says, freedom. I have 75 subscribers. I've built that up, dude. I've built that up. 75. Look, the videos consistently get a good amount, like 16, 19, 17, 16, 72, 21, 41, 21, 25, 25, 16, 25, 20, 15, 35, 38, 23, 21, 22, 50, 12, 119, 23, 15, 19, 35. And it's not about the viewers, but like it's just I should just I owe this to myself and I owe it to you to like fucking do it, like just what I'm doing right now, like this clear-headed, like talk my shit, like say whatever the fuck I feel, whatever it is, like it doesn't matter if what anyone thinks about it. And for a little bit I was consumed in what people would listen and think of who I was. So then therefore I could paint in a fake version by saying shit that I was kind of feeling, but also like walking over certain things to not sound a certain way in case people were listening and wanted to be my friend. But dude, it doesn't fucking matter. And it's just like right now. Because for a long time. I want to say a little bit, but it's been a long time of like, hey, dude, like, I'm kind of like digging a fucking hole. And I've been kind of aware, hey, I'm getting kind of deep, bro, but keep digging. And I felt like, holy fuck, I'm too fucking deep. But it's like, dude, you're not in a hole. Like, you're not in a hole. And you're just like, what? Yeah, I've been digging away at the same fucking ideas at my head. Creating a hole. But there is no hole. Dude. I think I've missed this, actually. And part of it too, I want to say, I think now that I'm thinking, now it's kind of on my head now, so I want to say maybe this was somewhat buried in there. So at the time, maybe last year, right? As I was getting to know my my girlfriend now, Shadi, shout out to you. as I was getting to know her, right? I was kind of still like, hey, I'm kind of weighing out the options still. So, like, don't really know if I should commit to somebody. But I also I'm vibing with you. So, like, why would I fuck it up? But then I'm kind of getting validated by pretty girls too, as well. And people are kind of knowing me as like this kind of mini little podcast celebrity type bracket or whatever you want to call it, type phenotype or genotype. Um, so I was kind of like, well, and so I think subconsciously, a small part of me didn't say how I felt, and maybe in like so fuck I don't want to say this shit, but I don't want to say it, but I have to say it. So I feel like for a while I was curating myself on this podcast. Now don't get me wrong, I probably am saying everything that I felt at the time. So it's not like I'm lying or like I was lying. I just mean like in the terms of like certain things I would like sugarcoat or not certainly say because I had to cover up a certain way of living that I was doing because certain eyes were watching. And then therefore if those eyes are watching and it's not congruent with what I'm saying, it could hurt some people's feelings. So it's also easier just to shut up and not say anything. And then you're not incriminated or you're not nothing, you know? You're not having to watch over your shoulder or anything. But it's like, it doesn't matter. This is my fucking show. I say whatever the fuck I want to say, bro. Nobody says nothing now. Like, I've missed this, dude. I've missed this. My boy just said, should I get a cone? Should I reply to him? I'm on the, I don't know, my boy. I can't tell you right now. I'm on the podcast. I should have put the shit on airplane mode, but if I fuck with the screen, never mind. They don't have any. Anyways, for a while I was curating who I wanted you people to think I was, so when we hung out, you could think of me as this. But I don't care. I feel so far detached from like people's opinion. I feel so far attached from consumerism. Like I'm downsizing the shit ton of things. I'm getting rid of a bunch of stuff that is all exterior. And I just don't give a fuck about what anyone has to say. And I always felt that to a certain degree, which is why I did this, and I've been vulnerable with you guys in the first place. I've been vulnerable because I know that there is like, what do you call it? It's powerful, you know? I know it's empowering for myself, but it also helps people like face what they think. And for so long, the past 6 months maybe. Okay, maybe since like Hang With Me real quick. If I go back and listen to Hang With Me real quick, dude, I can actually go back and like decipher and think about what's going on with where I am. But still, dude, like, oh. Good on it. Wow. Damn, I'm looking at sorry, I forgot to show you. I'm looking at my YouTube channel again, just kind of hovering post surgery, me versus myself podcast. That's a hard ass intro. I'm not gonna lie.
Welcome back.
Oh, look at this fucking stud.
Should have fixed the mic. Here, let me mute it real quick while I adjust it.
Look at this fucking stud. Oh my god. I'm so proud of you,
How
dude.
is it going, guys?
Ah, dude. Oh
I know you guys fucking missed me. I know you missed me, dude. I know you did.
I did
Oh, my.
fucking miss you, bro.
Hang on.
I did
Okay, here we
miss
are.
you.
Dude, welcome back. First off,
Ah.
it's very good to be back. In case you were wondering where I went, well, last week I was absent
Story of my fucking life, huh? Oh, is that big?
because Monday last week I was at Universal Studios. So I was kind of out all day. I didn't really plan anything.
Okay.
And then Tuesday I had surgery on my clavicle, which we're doing really well. It's healing really well. I don't know how much you can see. I still have a bandage over the cut, the wound.
Good to go, baby.
But yeah, Tuesday I got surgery, and that was a cool experience and something I'm definitely gonna remember.
It's grounding, dude. I'm not gonna lie to you.
All right, a little bit more on that later. Again, if this is your first time watching Me versus Myself podcast, this podcast is brought to you by Anchor FM. Yeah, Anchor is the app I use to
Chill with the ads, bro.
I just feel like I'm a new person. I feel really renewed.
But for real, not even this is the new person right here. Oh man. I'm getting goosebumps, but I don't really know how to explain how this feels. I don't know how to explain how this feels. Because in my head, I've told myself, you're not really making progress, or you're not doing this. But as I look, like I am, dude. A lot. I'm making progress.
Very much like.
Hope you guys are. If you're not cool with clicking it, like if you don't want to kick it right here with me and watch this video, like
very like at peace with everything that's happened to me, and I feel very calm. But yeah, okay, sorry. Let me get finished.
Man, dude, that's crazy as fuck. No, that was a good little intro. He was like, "Hey,
new person." I feel really.
He was like, "Hey, nice intro, bro." All right, let's go look at an old school one.
Okay, I think I'm gonna just hold the mic here. Actually, I was thinking about
the mic got cut, bro.
Because I mean, it sounds okay without the mic like close to me. But hi, welcome back to Me versus Myself podcast.
Look at this fucking stud right here, dude.
Ian.
Oh shit, I forgot to show you guys. I'm all excited.
Bringing you back another episode. Before that, let me see. Okay, I'm a little higher because the chair was lower. But here, we're gonna leave the mic here, so we won't be moving it so much, and you won't be hearing like the rattling and shaking of it. But hello, welcome back to Me versus Myself podcast. We're at 47 subscribers now. Today is
47, August 18, 2020.
August 17th.
17, my bad.
Sorry, I just had a shake, and like I had like blended up almonds and pecans. I don't know how to fucking say that, to be honest. But I had those, and like, still chewing them. So excuse me for that. But first of all, I want to get this out of the before the episode even starts. Thank you guys for listening and deciding to click on this video.
Dog, it's kind of painful, not gonna lie.
Podcast is a space where I am 100% vulnerable with you and just with me and just being honest with myself. It's kind of like me looking in the mirror me having a conversation with friends about what it is that I'm dealing with or what it is that I'm trying to achieve
I'm
in
kind
life.
of cringy. I'm cringing, not gonna lie. I'm
Same,
cringing.
I'm looking at myself like, this is my journey, right? This is me documenting my thoughts, feelings, and ideas on the journey towards success. Um, and I'm not really sure what success looks like for me yet, but I know that I'm gonna be successful, and this is me like documenting this so when I'm there and I'm at that point, you guys can look back at these videos, and I can look back at these videos and be like, wow, he was telling us what he was thinking, what he was trying to do, and what he wanted to get done, and now he got it done, and now it's like, wow, I could follow, kind of his mindset. So I hope
I used to romanticize that idea so much that like, oh, I'm gonna be successful, and I'm sharing my thoughts and ideas. So when I'm successful, like that's literally what I just said, but I romanticized that idea so much. I was worried about how people would think I thought when I was successful instead of doing things to be successful. So one thing I can like take from this is like, and back to what I was saying, it's like not so much this whole podcast thing video is not so much like it's not for like I don't care to monetize it. And I think my idea behind it before was like, oh, if I make a podcast and I get a lot of views, I can run a lot of ads and make money and live off my podcast. So then, therefore, obviously, people are going to have to listen to what I'm saying so that it gets views and so that I get ads so that I can keep telling people what I'm doing. So that has the bottleneck in the system that I just kind of patched up right there, I guess. Because honestly, dude, this podcast and this video creation, so I should keep doing it for myself. I should keep on fucking hammering at this because honestly, this feels so good to really just say things, and then as I say things, kind of hear them being said, and then be like, oh shit, like, And I think I've neglected that for a little bit. So definitely will be hearing from me. My video cut out and I can't tell if that was because of lack of storage or because I pushed it. So I'm gonna end it here just to be safe. And so therefore the video doesn't fucking cut out. And yeah, thank you so much for listening and watching. Nothing much. Maybe there is stuff to take from this video. Again, it's not like I'm trying to be your teacher, it's just kind of like I'm going to share what I'm thinking, what I'm feeling, and if you take something from it, hell yeah, and if not, then you wasted your time, or maybe you didn't, I don't know, but thank you, y'all.